stats and facts. No, really, and you know Hendo gon' tell you the truth. B.I. Mr. Info, you know what we here for. The Old Heads Podcast. Yo, we cover from Dog Shades to the team at the Barclays. The Old Heads Podcast. Yo, from Will scoring 100 to job being wanted. The Old Heads Podcast. Yo, let's go.
Jay Campbell in the building, man. I hope y'all like our intro just as much as we do. Old Heads episode 65, man. Thank y'all, man, for being a part of, being on this journey with us. Episode 65, football season. We gotta hop into that. I'm your co-host, Omar, aka O'Milly, aka that dude, aka Mr. Rello. If you know, you know. And hey, great day to be alive, man. Doing a little renovation downstairs, so we're normally in the basement. So we're still bringing that great content. Our buddy Hendo has taken his yearly rafting trip. So he's out doing a little rafting right now, man. So he's not with us, but he actually did leave his notes. So, man, we're gonna go ahead and get it popping, man. We thank y'all for joining us again. Old Heads episode 65. I'm gonna let this young brother introduce himself, and we're gonna go and get right into it.
Your boy Bill, B.I., a.k.a. Belito. Now it's your boys on the Old Heads, man. Get with us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to hop right into it, man. SummerSlam. We got SummerSlam t-shirts, man. SummerSlam t-shirts. Old Heads edition. Check us out, man. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. But we got to talk about, of course, the riverboat incident that happened in Alabama. How you feel about that, man?
Oh, man, that shit got crazy. Man, the internet blew up like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got our civil rights back. I wasn't sure what was going on. Ain't no, we got some 40 acres in the mule. All I know is payback is a mother. They took out years of slavery and injustices on these people.
I see what you sitting on.
What was that? Oh, a folding chair. A folding chair. You gotta be ready. In Wisconsin.
Oh,
we
shit.
Best fans. You never know.
Oh,
got a folding chair.
You gotta be ready out here in these streets, especially in Wisconsin. I think for one, I would have to say I wasn't happy. Like you always hate it. Like for one, like you would just hope people would just do the right thing, right? For the most part, right? But for the most part, I was happy seeing, because I think so many times we see good people get the short end of the stick, and we see people that are crumb balls seem to get off scot-free, especially less melanated people. So I think this one time, I think a lot of people say, well, fighting and stuff, and it's pretty other things, we can uplift, and I agree with all of that. But I think in the scheme of things, people were simply just happy to just see some jerks, some good karma, some karma come to some not so good people. Yeah. And once you really understand the whole story, I guess to say that they were asking these people for 35, 45 minutes to move their boat. That guy, the black guy, he was on the riverboat. So it would be like basically if we in the cross and the riverboat trying to dock, and me and you just out there blocking the riverboat. And they asking us for 35, 45 minutes. So that's when Buddy got off the boat and finally was like, man, I'm just gonna move the shit myself. You know what I'm saying? It was like they was being like, and I guess the people was eating and not paying them no attention, like not caring.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he moved and pushed it like 2-3 feet, and that's when you saw the argument happen. And I didn't realize the guy that was swimming, he was on the riverboat. He hopped off the riverboat because he saw his homie getting jumped. He hopped off, and that brother was only 16.
He's a good swimmer.
Yeah, that brother was only 16. Yeah.
No regard.
Because if you watch the video, the lady that said that boy swimming his ass off.
He's on what? On the real dog, he was on it. Like, he dispelled all the rumors that black people can't swim.
Yeah, Jermichael Phelps.
You know what I'm saying? For real. Dog was on
Michael Phelps.
That was like a tough mother. This dude was swimming, then he went and fought people. He probably did cycling next and some shit. I don't know what all was on his agenda, but this motherfucker was prepared for everything.
Oh shit!
For real.
They said a tough mother, but he was actually on the riverboat, so he was just hopped off to help his homie. And then those other black people that saw, those are black people that were on the riverboat once it finally docked. Those are black people on the riverboat that went to go help that brother. So I don't condone violence, you know what I'm saying, at all. And I think just to get context, I think that black people, if you're not black and you're like, man, why are people like so happy? It's simply just because we've seen the flip side of it so many times, especially in media. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the flip side of how that happens. So to actually see it, feel like somebody actually like get what should have been coming to them, I think that's why a lot of people champion. No one necessarily championing the violence, but just the fact that we've all seen that and we've all been in situations like that to where it seems like the good person always gets the short end of the stick. And that man was just doing his job.
And everybody at home always see those videos and we always like, that's bullshit. They did that to him while he was alone. We wish we wouldn't have man to help dude out some shit.
Fact.
And that's what ended up happening. He got a whole bunch of help.
Facts. He got a whole bunch of help.
You know what I'm saying?
A whole bunch of help.
And yeah, that's where it went down.
Yeah, and little known fact, if y'all don't know, a black man invented the folding chair. So our ancestors was with us that day.
Indeed.
Our ancestors was with us that day, man. But moving right along, man, got to talk about our NFL top 100 list. Do you feel like they got it right? Now, of course, you guys don't know the NFL. Not, I guess they pick players and they ask them every year to do their top 100, and they recently put out their top 100. Do you feel like they got it right by any chance?
I mean, I understand where they're going with the list and all, but the thing about it with me is I value defense more than them, I guess, because I've seen too many offensive players that don't really have the same impact to me as defensive players in the game.
Yeah.
That's ranked higher.
Chris Jones at 10, Micah Parsons at 9, Josh Allen at 8, Tyreek Hill at 7, Joe Burrow at 6, Travis Kelce at 5, Nick Bosa at 4, Jalen Hurts at 3, Justin Jefferson at 2, and then of course Patty Mahomes at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's
that
over?
is a different list than what I seen. That is a different list. Okay. I do value the quarterback position. I do value that. I seen Travis Kelce too high. I seen Travis Kelce a little bit too high. The other one I seen had Tyreek Hill a little bit lower, had Josh Allen higher. I like the defensive guys. I feel like Micah Parsons has more of an at 9 has more of an impact on the game than even Tyreek. No matter how great Tyreek Hill is, depending on who the quarterback is, his effect on the game could be minuscule. Micah Parsons, you know, he gonna get to that quarterback. Only thing that's holding him back is his coaches on where the hell they gonna line him up. Right. You know what I'm saying? To be very honest, so like things like that, him and 9 over, you know, guys who need the ball from somebody else. You know, so when I see, you know, because I seen Justin Jefferson, I seen up there, I seen Jamar Chase up there, I seen some guys who are ranked pretty high, and then I'm seeing even like T.J. Watt, some guys are like below them, and I'm thinking to myself, well, they don't need a quarterback to get them the ball to be effective.
That's true.
You know, of course, it's better when you have all your players on the field, so this guy helps your position because he's doing his job. It's a team game, I get it. But at the same time, though, yeah, that wide receiver is just running just to be running if your quarterback can't throw. I'm going to keep it real with you. You are basically ineffective in a football game at wide receiver if your quarterback can't throw the damn ball, can't throw a 15-yard in or out.
Which would make it so impressive when you think about a guy like Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. How successful he was with the Texans would not necessarily have it. I mean, outside the few years he had,
what was that,
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson,
you know. And I want to say, did they own him? Did he have 1 year possibly?
Maybe one.
Because remember they didn't trade him to Arizona.
Yeah.
And then that's what a lot of people saying. Well, like Deshaun Watson's still balling, and he don't have Hopkins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he only had, I think, maybe 1 year. But
yeah, it was something like just 1 year.
But all those other years,
he was still, all them dudes.
Exactly.
And we say that, but I think Matt Schaub, whatever his name was actually their best quarterback.
Yeah, Matt Schaub wasn't bad.
You know what I'm saying?
From Atlanta.
Yeah. He wasn't great though.
No.
It's just that
he was
wasn't.
serviceable.
Yeah.
He was serviceable.
team just sucked around and they weren't that great.
Yeah.
They had a decent defense somewhere.
Mario Williams.
Too.
They had a
Or somebody, I remember a couple DBs that was straight. But and I'm gonna let you go ahead and go to the next. I'm gonna give your opinion on that because I'm about to slip into the next subject.
No.
Simply said was.
I think the only person I didn't necessarily agree with, I thought was a little too high. Not having Aaron Donald in the top 10, I thought was a little bit of a travesty, and I would have to agree with the wide receiver. I think you can have one, maybe two wide receivers in the top 10, but just for the same reason that you said, is the fact that they rely on so much on the quarterback to be effective. You know what I'm saying? When you can have a quarterback that can be extremely, Justin Fields is a perfect example last year. You know what I'm saying? Quarterback
I like
still,
where you're going with this.
No. Quarterback can still be effective, even not having the best pieces around him. A wide receiver, you're almost at the mercy of your quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You're almost at the mercy of your sister, because if you're the only guy, and you don't have another guy that can take some of it, you're getting doubled all day. You know
offensive line.
Offensive line
is very crucial because if they get right to the quarterback, you can't run your route.
Exactly. That's true. That's true. I mean, so if you're not elite special, I have a hard time putting a wide receiver in the top 10. Even a tight end, because even a tight end, he's still blocking this heat.
Yeah.
When you look at he's probably one of the best blocking tight ends out of Baltimore. I can't think of his name. Andrews. Mark Andrews is a phenomenal blocker. I mean, he can catch as well if you have to, but he's good at it.
But blocking is important.
But
that way you can stay on the field.
Exactly, what you stay on the field. You know what I'm saying? So I think the only person I really had an issue with, Chris Jones, phenomenal. I love him at D tackle. I don't know if I would have put Donald. I don't know if I would put him over Donald. I think I would swap those. I would put Chris Jones at 11 and Donald at 10.
And that's what one with stats to mess you up. That's why these stat guys kill me, because they'll put that dude up there because of stats. When we all know that Aaron Donald is bringing more attention, though he's being double teamed the whole game. You know, every game. You know, so even in practice. So it's like, man, we know who's the more dominant guy, but Donald is ranked less than. I don't get it. It's really two spots. Donald was ranked 9th the year before. He's ranked 11th this year. So I think that's not. Jones had a phenomenal year. He had 15 and a half sacks out of that D tackle spot. He did move up a lot. He moved up 19 spots from last year. He was 29th the year prior. He was 10th this year. So he moved. He had a huge year, man. So, he had a huge year. So I mean, if it's any year you would swap, I guess it would be this year. But I still would have a hard time putting Aaron Donald out of that top 10. That was really the only issue I really had. Nick Bosa had a huge year, and I think that's another thing people have to keep in consideration. This isn't necessarily saying who's the better player. This is just going by what they did for that year. You know, exactly. I mean, because there's no way I think Jalen Hurts is the third best player. You know what I'm saying, in the league. But if you go by last year, I would say he's the third best. Yeah, and I'm not mad at it like that at all, because I understand it. You know, I understand what Michael Jordan was an MVP every year.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I understand it. As far as who has been here.
Absolutely. Because you could be the best player and somebody had a better year. You know what I'm saying? Moving right along, man. Jake Paul and Nate Diaz fight review. Thoughts on it? Is this good for boxing?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, like, well, it's good for them.
How y'all feel about that too, man?
Yeah, man, they feel in their pockets, but yeah, it's definitely good for them. I think the thing about it, man, where I gotta hang up with it is when, because I don't mind people paying their money for it. I don't mind, you know, the publicity and everything that happens leading up to the fight and everything. It'd just be nice if it were a good fight, you know. And who's to say what a good fight is, you know? But same point in time, like, I feel like a Floyd Mayweather, the way he fight guys, that's great to fill your pockets, but at what cost are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because you're getting monetary value for something, but you also making a mockery of your record though too. Don't be putting these wins with those wins. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? Because these are just
Well,
exhibitions.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's looked at the exhibition.
Yeah, just exhibitions. But even still, that we know it's separate, it's still looking like it just okay. Someone, not me, can sit back and say, "Oh yeah, man. Well, you just putting on the show with all these, with all these exhibitions. The same way you just putting on the show in the ring. It was more of a show the way you were dodging punches and not really fighting and running in the ring to get wins. You know, there are guys and haters that can actually they looking for, you know what I'm saying, any slight chink in the armor. You know what I'm saying, to come at you with. And I feel like these exhibitions don't do anything but open that door. You know what I'm saying, to be very honest. Like, it's like, why, man? You know, you were the man. We could debate. Motherfuckers were debating if you were better than Muhammad Ali because of your fucking record. But like, what are you doing right now? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not sure if everybody should be taking these type of fights. You know what I'm saying? Maybe for Jake Paul, you know, and guys like that who are the undercard. They really the card these nights, but you know, they will be an undercard to a great fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind seeing those. We don't mind seeing, you know what I'm saying, these guys, if they mad enough to go in there and do it, then do it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hurting me. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
That's how I feel about it. I don't think it's bad necessarily for boxing. I'm not necessarily a fan, I guess, of Jake Paul. I guess I never really I guess I'm too old to where, you know, so I never really follow his content or anything like that. So to me, just a YouTube guy. I mean, salute to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he man enough to get in there. You know, I don't know if the fights are fixed. It's just like, it's not really my cup of tea. Like, I like real boxing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't say it's not real boxing, but I like guys who are professionals. I'm a huge Nate Diaz fan. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to see Jake Paul do some MMA. Like, all these people out here talking shit about how Nate Diaz came to boxing. He can't fight. Like, bro, this ain't a sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't a sport. Like, I guarantee Nate Diaz will beat 99% of the humans on earth, bro. Yeah. Like, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, like, he's going to beat the dog shit out of it, bro. Like, he's a professional fighter. Like, you have to think about that. Like, people pay you money to fight. Like, think about that shit. Like, how good you gotta be. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I got respect for him, but I don't. It's not my cup of tea. I like to see professional boxing. You know what I'm saying?
I really like to see just the top tier guys.
Honestly,
even to be very frank about it, like, people probably don't want to hear that, but that's what I'm interested in. I want to see the big names going at it.
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's what made boxing so good when you had, you know what I'm saying, Sugar Ray Leonard and all those other guys, Hagler and and
taking those fights,
and taking
before, you know, Bob Arum type of days where like guys would dodging each other and shit like that. So that's why these fights are good.
Exactly.
Because these guys are manufacturing their own hype and they get in the ring without anybody getting in their way to get their own money.
And that's how I feel like that's how regular fighters should be. I mean, I understand why they get with the ball and this and that, but at some point I feel like you gotta start taking control of your own destiny. I mean, we've done that long enough. I feel like you really don't need an agent. Lamar Jackson showed that. Yeah. That Lamar Jackson showed that. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to start taking, when I say we, more melanated, you need to start taking more control and more ownership, you know what I'm saying, of our own stuff, because no one actually buys more than us. Yeah. We're the biggest consumers in the world. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start taking more ownership.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why I love Floyd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be very honest.
Facts. Moving right along, man. Let's do our picks, man. We did it last year, time to do it again this year. Our picks are NFL division picks. Who do you think's going to win the division? We'll start off with the AFC, man. Well, I'll start off, and y'all let us know who y'all think will win out there too. AFC East, I think the Buffalo Bills will win that. Really like Josh Allen. I think they're one of those teams that I still don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I still think the Chiefs are going to go back to back. But I think the Bills are one of those teams. you can almost feel they're going to knock down the door. I could maybe see them possibly get to the AFC Championship again. But I really like that team. I think Josh Allen, I didn't like him coming out of college, but I think hopefully he can mature. The big thing for them is Stephon Diggs. If he's happy, I think they'll be fine. But you have to look at, I don't know much more they can do to keep him happy because no one sees more balls than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one gets more attention. No one has more ball started than him. So I think as long as you can keep him happy, I think they'll be fine. But I got the Bills win the East. West, of course, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. That's pretty much a dynasty. I think they still got another good 4 years in there, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, when I say dynasty, not like win 4 straight, but they're going to be. Patty Mahomes will probably get 4 or 5. I think that's all I'm saying.
Well, they're in the Chargers division.
Oh, I know. I know. Trust me. I think the Chiefs. I got Chiefs. Yeah.
Punks, man.
Yeah. The Chargers, they'll probably make the playoffs this year. Then North, I got the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson, after getting a big deal, really good raves about that receiving core looking good. I think Zay Flowers is going to be a stud. I love that Ravens team. The help from Lamar Jackson, they're always tough. In the South, I think the Jags. The Jags are a team that they only got better. And then a lot of people look at them, got a top 10 wide receiver, Calvin Ridley, from the Falcons. So they're only going to get better. Trevor Lawrence has been a winner, and he's won at every level.
Yo, why they do the Cowboys like that today, dog?
What they do?
They went down first drive. They already stopped them. They already stopped the Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
Then they get the ball. They go straight downfield. Motherfucking, they get a touchdown, and it was so easy. It was funny. So the score 6-0. These motherfuckers decided to go for 2 for no reason at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why you go for 2 at this point in time. But these motherfuckers that went for 2 points, got the 2-point conversion, this motherfucker. Trevor Lawrence is looking real nice, man.
Yeah,
real nice.
Jags are gonna be
yeah, I think them too. Man.
From that offensive standpoint, like they are gonna be tough, man. If their defense, they did get the #1 pick last year, you know. So I mean, they're gonna be tough. But how your AFC picks looking?
All right, man. I got the Chiefs with you. I got Jacksonville with you, and BMO with you.
Okay, who you got coming out the East?
The East, which is the East is that's Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland. I don't trust Pittsburgh. I don't trust Cincinnati just because of both Joe Burrow's injury. And we talking about who gonna win the division. So it's all about piling up wins. It ain't about who the better team is when they play each other in the playoff. It's about
Dolphins, New England.
Oh no, that's the Jets thing.
Yeah, Dolphins, New England.
That's the Jets. Yeah, I got the Jets over Buffalo. Because again, same thing. I see them piling up wins. You know what I'm saying? I see them riding away for a minute, you know, because a couple of them games, they either going to be better than people they know, or a couple of games they're going to get tested and then come out of that fire because they're a better damn team and inch some games out. And I feel like it's just, they're going to win some games a few different ways and look up, and they're going to have a decent record. They're going to end up being like midways through this shit. I can see the motherfuckers being like either 7-1 or like 6-2 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And then once that starts, then the next team, okay, so that's Miami division or Buffalo's division. Say for whatever reason, Buffalo start out 3-3. You know what I'm saying? Lord forbid 2-4. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Like I'm going with the Jets to win that division. That team was good without Aaron Rodgers. All they needed was a serviceable quarterback, and then they went out and got an all-time great. With something to prove, this motherfucker showed up to OTAs. He got to be packed with wide receivers. Jealous as hell right now to just do OTAs. Aaron Rodgers. Dude is still doing drugs at this time, ladies and gentlemen. This man is nowhere to be found during OTAs. Nowhere. You can't reach him on the phone. No, nobody nowhere yet. I'm just saying, this dude's at OTAs. All they needed was a decent quarterback. That actually makes them a little bit better than Buffalo. when it comes to just beating other teams. I don't know how the head-to-head matchup is going to play out, but when it comes to just beating other teams, and I don't know anybody's schedule right now, the Jets are built to win more games than Buffalo is because Buffalo still ain't answered the running game problem to me. So as long as you running the ball with Josh Allen like he a running back, I don't know what they're thinking about that. So
I like that. I do that. That can be an issue. Man. I did think about that. I was sitting here thinking like, you got all these running backs out there. Buffalo is somewhere. You would think they'd be trying to. Yeah, you would think they would be trying to throw some money. You know,
and Diggs, they could be like, all right, we the ex-Minnesota Vikings. This is Minnesota Bills. We're going to come in here and help this team win.
But I think with Cook, I think it's the money. I think it's the money. So I don't know.
That makes sense because ain't nobody trying to pay a running back right now.
No, they're not. But I don't know. In my NFC picks, the East, I had the Eagles coming out the East. I think Jalen Hurts, I don't think he'll have as good a year as he had last year, but I don't think it'll be that much of a drop-off. They still have a dominant offensive line. That defensive line, it sounded like Chicago should have got Jalen Carter. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like
we got 8 sacks today.
Yeah, that's great, but it sounded like we should have got Jalen Carter with the way it sounded like him playing against that offensive line. And it sounded like he's gonna be a problem. So I said Eagles coming out the East. 49ers, I think when it's all said and done, I think they might start off slow, but I definitely see the 49ers coming out the West. Out the North, I have the Packers.
Whoa.
I got the Packers coming out the NFC North. I don't think Jordan Love is as bad as people think he's going to be. And if you look at that Packer team, they actually do have a really good team.
I think he's going to be as bad as I think he's going to be. But the reason why is because I never thought he was a scrub. I thought coming out of college he looked straight.
Yeah.
So he's going to be just as bad as I think he's going to be.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be anything spectacular, but I think he's going to be. It's not crazy to see him throw for 3,000 yards this year.
But 3,000 yards ain't the standard no more. 4,000 is. 4,000 is the new 3,000. And these dudes still ain't touching the 5,000 that Drew Brees used to throw.
Yeah, that's true.
Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady and threw 5,000 several damn times. And these quarterbacks are still looking at 3.
That's true. But Packers are coming up with NFC.
They used to throw the ball less back then, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, a lot less.
So what's the excuse?
A lot less. Falcons coming out the NFC South. Yeah, I like the Falcons, man.
I thought about it.
I thought about it. I think
they got the running back. They got the tight end.
You got Kyle Pitts, Dustin Ritter.
You're talking about the quarterback. They came along last year.
I used to watch the play at Cincinnati. Yeah, after Mariota with that. So I don't think NFC South. It's always not a stacked division. I just really see that young Falcon team, and they actually have a pretty easy record, if I'm not mistaken. That's triple record schedule. Yeah, that schedule is not hard. So I got the Falcons, man.
I'm gonna tell you, man, if the Saints can get through that those few games that Alvin Kamara suspended for that fight out in Vegas a couple of years ago, or whatever that fight was. If they can get through those few games, I think they'll be okay. They got Derek Carr now, and they always have a defense. You know, if they can just manufacture a few wins without Kamara, because Kamara is still the star on that team. Regardless of Derek Carr coming here, Kamara's the most dynamic offensive player on that team. You get him back, I got the Saints winning that division.
Really?
Yeah, I got the Saints and Derek Carr.
They have the second easiest schedule. The Falcons have the second easiest schedule in the NFL.
I mean, there's a reason for that, because those guys
right behind the Saints. So it's the Saints, Falcons, Colts, and Panthers they have the second easiest schedule.
Mariota actually quit on it too. I don't like saying that about my Philly, but he went and got a surgery fast. He said, they didn't tell him to do that shit. That's how your man got on last year, that quarterback. Man. Yeah, I was watching that TV show, Quarterback, and I'm like, man, this dude, why would you do? You even got asked by a few people, like, why are you doing that? And you even said later on, I probably shouldn't have did it just yet. Exactly, dude. What are you learning from? Because you lost a few of them games, you know, one of them bad.
That was always
you
the thing
to
with
the
Mariota.
Yeah, you go over the clipboard for the rest of your career if you finish this season. You go out with this injury right now, and there's another excuse to prolong you being in the starting line or with a better team or something somewhere. Nah, I seen him lose a few. I watched that quarterback joint. He was losing a few of them games down the stretch. He ain't somebody I want with the ball.
Yeah, and that's always been the thing. It's a phenomenal talent, and just he's a nice person.
Yeah, he's a very nice person.
He's very nice.
Like him and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
it's hard.
But you almost have to be somewhat of a dick sometimes to be a quarterback.
Yeah, maybe.
You almost have to be kind of a dick. You know,
I hate to say that. You know,
but
it's been true in a lot of
do.
instances.
I mean, but even with Patrick Mahomes, like, he's a nice guy, but you saw him and Eric Bieniemy get into it on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? Being a dick that can just come from just being competitive.
Yeah.
Just not want to fucking lose.
That's true too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can be up in somebody's face and be the nice person in the world, and they're like, man, it's like, nah, I just think I don't want to lose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul, they say that's kind of how he is. You know, like
I'm seeing him. He's a habitual dick puncher. That's
Yeah.
what he is. I seen him punching dicks in school. I seen him punching dicks in the NBA.
Oh,
You guys somewhere punching a dick right now. I don't know what the hell he's up to. I mean, they call him a dirty player.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do whatever to win.
They also say almost like the front office almost like you know he's gonna be one of those guys who's always good. Anyway, I like CP3. Moving on right along, man. Prime versus Prime. We haven't done this in a few weeks. Prime versus Prime this week, man. Might as well do it, man. We had the Riverboat incident. We had SummerSlam recently, so I said, fuck it. We had to talk about old Uncle OJ. OJ Simpson versus Adrian Peterson. Prime versus Prime. Who do you think was the better runner? OJ the Juice or AP?
Man,
The Spanker.
the Spanker.
Mr. Whoopin'.
It's real hard to go against Adrian Peterson. It really is, man. Dude was a tough dude that hit the shit out of you, delivered the hit, or speed right past you. I mean, when you talk about that type of combination all in one person, normally a football team like that, two running backs. The guy that run all around and the guy that hit the hole.
Yep.
They tell you 0-1-3-5 or 0-2-4-6. You hit the hole.
Yep.
This dude can do both of them. But you don't never have to take him off the field. Of course, blocking and all that shit too. But this dude, he was exciting to watch because he was a fun running back, a fast running back. We all like fast running backs when they get in the open field. So he got a million of these highlights. But beyond just those highlights, this motherfucker, there's other highlights of, man, tough guy shit. Jerome Bettis shit. For real. You know what I mean? I gotta go Adrian Peterson all day.
I think for me, I think I had to go with Adrian Peterson, but it simply came down to his production. AP is one touchdown away from having double the amount of OJ. OJ had 61 touchdowns compared to 120. Adrian Peterson. Then I think, but if you look both from a talent and size standpoint, they're actually very, very similar. AP was 6'1", 220, 6'2", 6'1", 220, and OJ was 6'1", 212. I mean, but if you look at Wikipedia, they have it 6'2", so you think 6'1", 6'2", somewhere around there. 212. Now 8 pounds can make a big difference, you know what I'm saying? But still, it's not that big of a difference. They were still, they was,
That boy, OJ hit like he's still wearing a helmet. When you say his helmet on, this nigga, what is his head size? I'm just saying, this motherfucker got a cranium on him. That nigga is still big.
Shit.
He had big in the shoulders.
Oh shit, yeah, OJ did have a big head. And the crazy part is, I didn't know he played football. I knew him from, well, I knew he played, I really didn't know he played football. I knew him from, as a kid, Naked Gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my dad, so I'm like, that's OJ. Like he played football, and I still did my research, but I knew him from Naked Gun.
I did know him from that first.
Yeah, as an actor, but I think it's really the production for me. Also, one thing I realized, OJ, they both had MVPs. They were both MVPs of the leagues. But for Peterson, production and length, and the yards per season, and the length of seasons he did it for. Peterson had 8,000 yards seasons and one 2,000-yard season, whereas OJ had a crazy 5-year run where he had over 1,000 yards and he had one 2,000-yard season as well as an MVP in between. But even more impressive for me, I think why I had put AP over OJ was the fact that AP's most impressive year came after tearing his meniscus. A lot of people forget that. He tore his meniscus, which is unheard of, and he actually ended up winning MVP that following week after tearing his meniscus. And also including, he had 1,000 yards in final season. A lot of people are talking about. Final year in the league, he had over 1,000 yards. I think Adrian Peterson, all said and done, is probably a top 5 running back all time. Where OJ is still elite, but he's probably close to the top 10.
Yeah, yep.
In my opinion.
I think we put a number on it, but yeah, that sounds about right.
When you look at the raw numbers, I think you put OJ probably what 9 or 10, so we're right in there. Maybe you got a lot of good running backs, man. A lot of good running backs. Marshall Faulk, Gale Sayers. When you look at what he did, Walter Payton.
Boy, you were watching that Brian song.
Yeah.
I was just showing him down. I seen Brian song a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams played the shit out of Gale Sayers.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
You know that dude.
Yeah, Gale Sayers. It was only a few years, but it was so impactful those few years, man. Yeah, salute to Gale Sayers, man. R.I.P., man. Gale Sayers. But talking about running backs, man. We're gonna do our top 10 this week. Top 10 most underrated running backs of all time. So we're gonna do it. Hendo, our brother Hendo, not here. He left his notes. I don't have him, so you got to say his next week. That's my bad, Hendo. But
sure what he had to say. He was gonna say something crazy.
It really was. It was actually a really good list. I'll show you. Well, I'll show you.
This is good
after we finish taping. But it's actually really good. But with this, like how we normally do, I'll do 10, then you say your 10, and we'll keep it moving like that. Not necessarily in any order, but it is. At number 10, our 10 most underrated running backs of all time. At number 10, I had Alvin Kamara. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, man. I don't think already. I don't think enough people talk about how good he is, his versatility.
That's true. Especially nowadays, man, they're trying to value the shit out that position too. So
yeah, they really are. I mean, but he can really, but he already got paid too. Right. He already got that bag too. So yeah, I think Alvin Kamara. I had Alvin Kamara. Yeah, he got that bag. Absolutely, man. Shout out Alvin Kamara.
Just start fighting motherfuckers outside of clubs in Las Vegas.
Yeah, stop doing that. You ain't gotta do that. You gotta do that, Alvin. Number 10, who you got?
Oh shit, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go Earl Campbell.
Nobody ever talk about Earl Campbell. My pops talk about Earl Campbell, but Earl Campbell, that's a great one. That's a great thing.
That one highlight where he's running off with ripping his
shirt off and still going.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's nuts, bro. I wonder they had to give him another jersey. At number 9, they had to. Number 9, I went with Garrison Hurts.
Okay.
Yeah, out of Georgia. Yeah, we played for the 49ers, but I remember watching his his draft tape coming out of college, and it literally looked like God fast forwarded him, and everybody else is in like normal speed. It was one of the craziest draft tapes I've ever seen. And then he was actually really good when he went to 49ers too.
Yeah, I fucking want the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean Garrison Hurts.
Jordan too. I don't put too much on top of the ball. So I'm just picking random off the list. I'm gonna say Corey Dillon. Corey Dillon was the man with the Bengals.
What's the Bengals? And then he went to the
Exactly. They couldn't get over that hump. They couldn't get over that hump without all they needed him.
Yeah.
And he was that.
And it was always a pro too.
Yeah, he went there. You know what I'm saying? The man, the pro people thought that he was some type of know what I'm saying, troublesome dude and some shit. He really wasn't.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He went right to the Patriot way, he did his job and retired.
Yeah.
Never heard nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Always to the sunset.
That's a great pick. That's a great pick, Corey Dillon. At number 8, I had to go with, of course, I love this kid. Love this guy growing up, man. Neil Anderson, the Chicago Bears. Extremely underrated. Extremely underrated.
Why would you do that? Nobody's supposed to be thinking about this guy.
Neil Anderson. Number 35. If you watch it, man, check out Neil Anderson. Go check out his highlights. Number 35, played for the Chicago Bears. He was the guy who replaced Walter Payton. And he wasn't Walter Payton at all, but he was really, really, really fucking good. Neil Anderson actually could dunk, so I remember watching him at a celebrity game, celebrity dunk contest. Neil Anderson, number 8.
That's hilarious. Just picking random here. I'm gonna say Jamal Charles. Jamal Charles.
Before he got injured.
Yeah, because I thought there was a lot of highlights of him like running around people when I was young. So I was like, okay, you're a fast guy, seemed like a little dude. And then I like seen a couple games. I don't know who they were playing on that shit. This dude, they were using him to block people and running in the holes in the gaps and shit. I was like, oh, okay, no wonder he got so many yards. It ain't just these big ass yards. He on the field all the time.
Yep.
He a durable back more before.
Yep.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I shout out dog.
Yeah, he was a monster before he got hurt.
And he was there for a long time too.
Yeah.
That's why I shout him out. It wasn't just like a couple years. He was there for a
Yeah, no, he was good for a minute, bro. I remember he
long
was
a lot of receivers.
Yeah, facts. They still on it.
Yeah.
Well, they let go of Hill, but yeah, that's crazy. Number 7, I went with this guy. Another thing, injuries. I'll start with the injuries of running back. Steven Jackson for the Rams. He was huge, man. He was really. He might be the only running back I ever seen that might have been just as big as Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He was huge, but he could do everything.
He could.
He could catch the ball. He was fast. He could block. Like it was big as hell. It was really just simply just injuries that slowed him down. But he was a fucking monster, man.
Shit, as we mentioned guys like that, Ricky Williams. That motherfucker was big as hell. He was fast in the motherfucker. He just chose to say he wanted to smoke weed for some reason. And back then you couldn't say anything like that.
But
I mean, unless you know, somebody else, Bill Walton, or that type of shit. They didn't have that shit before.
because he's a hippie.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, he's a hippie.
This motherfucker Aaron Rodgers sitting right in front of me. I'm gonna go do my dope, and I'm gonna get back to playing football when I get back to playing football. Like, man, how does he do this every year? This motherfucker go do some dope.
Yep.
And then come back and
Ayahuasca. What do you say? Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe something else. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't even
You say so.
Pretty sure that shit is illegal and not on the exempt list from the commission, but whatever.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers. Number 6. Another guy I like, man. Actually, I like the Vikings growing up. Robert Smith. Yeah, that's one. Robert Smith.
I did not want to like him for a long time, but yeah, he was a good back.
He was a good running back. He just got hurt. Actually, I think you can still catch him on one of these college shows. He actually does commentary for a college show. Robert Smith, man, played for the Minnesota Vikings. He's a really good running back. That was my number 6.
Sean Alexander. I was cutting food for
years.
You know what I'm saying? He was doing it all.
Sean Alexander was nice. I remember him because he didn't wear gloves. I'm pretty sure he didn't wear gloves, if I don't remember that.
Shit, that makes sense, man.
Because I remember he had to cover up ass. He was super nice, though. He was super nice. I want to say it was him and Jamal Charles around that time. It might have been, or was it him and Priest Holmes?
Priest Holmes.
It was him and Priest Holmes going at it for like that touchdown, right? Yeah, Priest Holmes. Number 5, this guy's a great human being. Does a lot of things in the Florida area. He's built so many homes for people. Ward Dunn, super underrated. Phenomenal career at Florida State. You know what I'm saying? Then goes on to Tampa. Like, Ward Dunn is extremely underrated. Another one of those guys that could everything, every down back. He could block, he could catch the ball out the backfield.
Shorter dude too.
Smaller dude.
Like he was a big beast in the dude.
No.
But since we on that more of a dude, he's naturally
Okay.
player, Curtis Martin. This is another small dude. You know what I'm saying? Basically
For the Jets.
Yep. Jets and the Patriots.
Yeah, he was. I want to say Curtis Martin Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of want to put him on the list because we all supposed to know.
But
I feel like
you don't talk. No one talks
and
about
nobody
it.
still talking.
Nobody talks
You know
about
what I'm
Curtis
saying?
Martin, bro.
Curtis Martin was the shit.
Nobody, but he just carried his lunch pail.
You know what I'm saying?
Did his job. I don't even know what he sounds like. Keeping it 100. Yeah, I don't even know what he sounds like.
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
can sound like Kawhi Leonard.
For real. Like,
You know what I'm saying? Maybe. That's all I got.
Yeah, I don't even know what he sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great pick. Number 4, God-fearing man, but he will smack the dog shit out of you. Brian Westbrook.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Brian Westbrook. No one talks about him. He done another one of those. I like all around backs, man. There's very few backs who I really like that are pretty, one-dimensional. Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry. But I like guys like Roger Craig and Jamal Anderson, guys who do everything. Walter Payton. I guess because I grew up like a Walter Payton. He fucking kicked and threw and did everything else. So I guess it's something I like guys that are versatile.
This motherfucker's doing it all.
Man, everything. Who you got at number 4? Most underrated running backs of all time.
Man, I can't even say it all the time. It's just anything. I'm going to go Eric Metcalf, man.
Okay. We got Eric Metcalf right. Okay.
I seen his mom do a move one night. It was like Monday Night Football or some shit. I was like doing this shit in my room, like trying to do what he did. He just bounced like, you know what I'm saying, from like right to like left. But he was dodging the shit out of motherfuckers. Like when he jumped like this, somebody flew past him. And then he immediately jumped like this and somebody flew past him and then he ran to his own. I'm like, damn man, this motherfucker look like a video game literally to me back
For
then.
real. Eric Metcalf was nice.
Yeah,
He was nice. I forgot. That's a great. I totally forgot about Eric Metcalf. At number 3, super underrated, man. I can't believe a lot of people don't talk about him. Probably because of the man. Super laid back. Matt Forte. Matt Forte.
Yeah, he got a lot of reps.
He got a lot of reps.
A lot of teams had nothing at the time but Matt Forte.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then when we got Brandon Marshall, they phased him out.
Yep.
You know
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But every down back, we do everything.
Yeah. They could have used that, man. We could have used him and third down and shit more. And like, cause we had an offense that could get us some yards in the air, but if you use the run game, you could protect the weak defense. Mm-hmm. That's revisionist history.
Fact.
Past that, it's too many backs though, man. I can keep going on forever, man, to be honest. I'm gonna say Frank Gore. Frank Gore lasted forever. That nigga probably playing running back. When he died, he gonna be playing running back in heaven.
He playing running back for his own high school right now.
I'm trying to tell you.
He done got a fake ID and backpack is out there annihilating kids.
That's what he do.
He plays running back for life.
That's what he gonna do forever. It's
For real. I think he finally just retired, but he's like, I want to say he's third all time or something like that all time.
He up there.
He's up there. He is up there. He is up there. But that's something I think when you rushing yards all time, I don't think that's something that you can necessarily look at, because a lot of people look at the scoring record of basketball as just a longevity. Yeah. Rushing yards is something that I think you can't look at like that. You can say, well, he played so long. That's even, to me, more of a testament to how good he is. To be a running back, to be healthy that long, and then he had major injuries.
Yeah.
He had major injuries in college. You know what I'm saying? To last that long, man, Frank Gore is a Hall of Fame. I don't care what nobody say. He is a Hall of Fame.
I don't know if they gonna put him in.
I don't know if they will put him in, but I'm just saying, put that man in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Number 2, for me, I went with one of my all-time favorite players that did not get enough credit. Also has a great podcast too. Fred Taylor. Jacksonville Jaguars. I've always been a Jaguar fan.
That's who I was trying to remember too. Couldn't think of his name.
Fred Taylor.
Yeah, Fred Taylor's a beast.
Yeah, Freaky Fred, man. Freaky Fred was nice.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here because it may not be underrated really. But I'm gonna say he was still underrated for what he was really capable of, Edgerrin James.
Ooh,
Edgerrin James was cold as hell, and my man Peyton wasn't gonna win it without him.
Right.
He wasn't gonna win it without him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For real, he needed Edgerrin. You know what I'm saying? And for that alone, I rock with you, cuz. I fuck with Peyton. You know what I'm saying?
You like Peyton? I didn't know you. I didn't know. What was your rank? Top 5 all time?
Top 5, yeah. You talking about my favorites or rank them as far as where they rank them all the time? I would say top 5. As far as my favorites, he top 2. Top 2, top 2, top 3.
So it's Elway and then Peyton.
It is Elway. I'm gonna say really, I don't know where to rank Moon and Peyton, but it's Elway, Moon, and Peyton.
Gotcha.
And them dudes.
Gotcha.
I see him improving every Sunday.
I don't know if my favorite quarterback is probably Moon is up there. Moon's probably two out. And Rodgers definitely up there. Joe Montana is probably my favorite quarterback. I don't like Joe. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's probably Joe Montana, Warren Moon, and then actually number 3 is probably Mike Vick. Huge Mike Vick fan. I was a big Cam. I'm actually still am a big Cam fan too. That Cam probably might be in my top 5 for favorite quarterbacks. Yeah, I would say Rodgers then Cam. It's been a lot of them, bro. It's been a lot of quarterbacks that I like. I still like Troy Aikman.
Yeah, Troy Aikman was okay. I fuck with Tom Brady over for that. When I say my top guys, though, I give respect to Joe Montana and I give respect to Tom Brady.
Yeah, those are just strictly my favorites. Yeah, Tom number 1, just off the strength of what he did as far as now he's not my favorite. But my number 1 most underrated running back of all time, I don't know how I used to watch him, but I remember seeing him play a few games. Ernest Bynum.
Ooh, Cleveland Browns. Ooh, that was a fumble though.
Yeah.
That's what man John did after that. They call it the drive. Yeah, they call it the drive after your man fumble.
But Ernest Bynum was nice. Yeah. Bro. He was nice.
Yeah, he was.
He put up some big numbers too.
Yeah.
Ernest Bynum, I had him number 1.
Oh, snap. I done mixed all mine up.
No, you good. That's fine.
But I have more than 10 anyway, so I'm still able to pick because you already took Neil Anderson from me.
I had to.
I'm going to go Le'Veon Bell, man. Le'Veon Bell ain't going to go down as one of the great running backs. You were going to forget him probably. I don't think he should be forgotten. The way he was lining up, motherfucking blockers for him to jet off once he see the hole. Yeah. I feel like he should be teaching a class to running backs on how to run.
Le'Veon Bell was nice. I hate they didn't pay him, and that ended up kind of giving his career a different trajectory. But that's not a bad pick at all. Man. Le'Veon Bell was that dude. He actually reminded me a lot of. I thought he was Jamal Anderson 2.0.
Yeah.
I thought he was Jamal Anderson.
Yeah,
the
like
dirty bird.
Yeah.
That's what reminded me of. They had good size and speed to do it all, man. He was a problem in Pittsburgh, man. He was a problem. But I think it's about that time, man. You want to tell these people what time it is, B.I.?
Trade yourself.
I love it.
You got to trade yourself, man.
You got to trade yourself, man. Man, if you don't know what trade yourself is we always end our show, on a segment called Trade Yourself, to where you pick somebody who, in a nice way, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to say fuck you, you know what I'm saying, or kiss my ass. It could be anybody. It could be your kid, your wife, your husband, your co-worker. Instead of telling them to kiss your ass or fuck you, you just look at them and say, you want to what? You need to trade yourself. Hey, you need to, whatever that person doing right now, you need to tell God, trade me in for another personality. Because right now what I'm doing, it just ain't suffice. It ain't good for nobody. So, who need to trade themselves this week, P.I.?
Well, the funny thing about this week is, like no other week, I actually didn't even have a trade yourself.
Oh.
I was thinking about it the entire
shit.
time while we were doing this and everything. Who should trade themselves?
Oh shit.
And then I thought about a few suggestions in myself, and I thought those are decent suggestions, and I should say one of these. And then I thought, nah, I should just go to my default setting, because every once in a while I gotta say it just to remind people, Billy Donovan gotta go. I don't know how you still on the roster. You shouldn't be still on the roster. Everybody else can stay. You know what I'm saying? We can run it back with a different strategy. Billy Donovan gotta go. He fucked up the lineup for a whole season. That whole season last year, I have no idea who the fuck was about to start on one night. I had no. I ain't gonna get started on the fucking NBA. But these motherfuckers were scheduled 2 weak ass games one night and then 15 games the next night. Last year was pissing me off. Because then we'll be the motherfucking 2-game night. And I'm over here watching Billy Donovan over here start me and shit. Nigga, get me off the court, nigga. You better start motherfucking Zach LaVine, nigga. This nigga's obviously better. I'm tired of this nigga.
Oh shit.
The fuck?
Oh shit.
Get him out of here, man.
Billy. Trade yourself. I think for me, man, you already know who I'm gonna pick, man. SummerSlam. Anybody that was on that river boat, you know what I'm saying? You didn't want to move your boat. Hey, you got your boat rocked. Oh shit! Damn. They was playing Aaliyah. Rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat. You got your shit rocked. So yeah, man, we don't need none of that out there, man. So yeah, y'all down there, man, who was acting ass down there at the riverboat, trade yourself, man. I'm pretty sure some Republicans, you know what I'm saying, probably bailed y'all out, but it is what it is, man. And gonna learn one way or another, man. So hey, trade your motherfucking self. Gotta give a shout out to our brother Hendo. He did leave his notes. That's my bad. He'll be letting you know his picks next week. Like I say, he's doing his annual canoeing trip. I'm pretty sure rafting trip. So he wasn't here today. He'll be with us next week. Much love. Be safe out there, brother. Also got to give our shout outs to the closet out there, JB. If you're in the Cross, Wisconsin area, check him out. He all the great sneakers out there. Also, a breath of fresh, our brother Focus, man, who's actually in Minneapolis right now. But he will be back Monday. A breath of fresh. Check him out over there on the south side of La Crosse, Wisconsin, right there in the plaza, right next to Papa Murphy's. If you're in the La Crosse area, if you're familiar with the south side, check him out. He got all the latest sneakers, outfits to match. Say if you got some sneakers that need some cleaning, some restoration, there's shoe restoration right there in the shop. So check out a breath of fresh. And it's Saturday night, man. Don't want to cook. It's nice out. Please go check out our press break downtown, La Crosse, Wisconsin. They got the cheesy beef, the cheesy nachos, all that good stuff, man. So check them out. And finally, man, got to give a shout out to Cuzzo, man. If your car looking bogus, man, you only got a few more weeks of summer. You want to get it shined, get it winterized. Go check out King KO Car Wash over there by La Crosse Street. King KO Car Wash. Cuzzo is doing a great job. He's actually running a special right now. He does all type of detailing. He gets the inside, he gets the outside, engine, undercarriage, all that good stuff, man. So check out Cuz. And also, Saturday night while you're eating your cheesy beef, man, you and your girl outside on the, maybe having a fire or whatever, you want to listen to some good music, download that app. Bump that radio, man. Download that app. Trying to bring radio back like how it used to be. If you brothers are old heads like me, y'all other old heads out there, remember the Box from Chicago? That's what it's similar, man. You show him some love, he gonna show you a spin. So bump that radio app. I need you to go download that right now. And please, don't be dusty. Like and subscribe, man. We need y'all to subscribe, man. Don't be dusty out there. Don't have me pick one of y'all to have to trade y'all self next week. But in Old Heads, episode 65, I'm your co-host, Omar, a.k.a. O'Milly, a.k.a. that dude, a.k.a. Mr. Rello. If you know, you know. I'm going to go ahead and let this brother exit us out.
Boy,
65.
man. Holla at us, man. Old Heads.
Old Heads, like and subscribe, man.
Podcast,
The
man.
podcast, we out of here.
Get lost. Get up and